Good afternoon or good evening, whatever is prioritized, you must add it and just you accept this one. How can you use this one? Exactly, English is just what I have told. And being a Bengali medium student, and if I can, I frequently use Bengali. I never rather I when during my studies life I used Hindi maximum. But here in Bengal now, I find our educational systems earlier it was so and it remains deteriorated. It have already been deteriorated. But I cannot. I reiterate, repeatedly say, try to pay attention to this. Our life, students' life. I am also, I consider myself a student, I am senior. But of course, I expected to do something else. Who do government employment is not possible for me, but I can employ myself on what is called philanthropically, or I can exploit my leisure time towards teaching the students. It should always be. We should always not be motivated, and our intention and propensity should not be towards earning money. But most of the teachers, their intention, their view to earn money. Viewers, I say, be alert. Wherever the money is related, is of course education is there, but quality education where it is. So me in our surroundings, I am not telling about my Purulia district, my locality. You can just collect an idea about West Bengal. I don't know. I don't like to go more, but I know about. But here I shall see you the simple part. Why can we not? Why do we become confused while just we are asked what is main verb and what is auxiliary verb? And previously I have discussed about our main verb, auxiliary verbs, and transitive and intransitive, and there are so many kinds of verbs that is to be discussed onwards during my teaching classes. Now I have students here, too pitchy, too naughty, boys there, but they listen me, and they are very much afraid. But I love them, and sometimes I beat them, sometimes I chide them. But they are obedient so much, and if I beat them, if I chide them, if I punish them, then they will come. I don't know why they love me. So onwards, just I must present them. And these students, they know our teacher must present one day to this video highlightings. They must have. Now I ask them, how do you love this education? They tell me, sir, it is our love. And we love to say something, we love to write some things, we love to read. And specifically they are interested just to learn English, and they do. Now there just one is following this Jesse Nesfield, the first part. And he is obviously a sincere student, but naughty. So naughty. His name is Siana. Sayan he is called exactly, but I call him Siana. But he is much, what is called sincere. Funnily, just I call him Siana, but really he is very nice and sincere and obedient and punctual. So now what I am going to discuss about. So while just I am teaching the students, I always teach the students, making them with friendship. Just I do not chide them. If I chide them, they must start crying, and they must sob up, they must weep. And I have maximally those who are interested just to learn the better English, classical English, rhetorical English. I usually teach, but it does not mean I do not teach the school students. Okay? I do. But my limitation is there because I am not commercial teacher. And most of the teachers their intention is to have money, get popularity, and to make welding, SE, motorcycles, leading lavish life. That's the intention. Exactly in our West Bengal, I do not know the English teachers. They have certificates, but in regard to this talent and knowledge, no. And this I should not say about one of my student or just I taught him, but he does never admit. But right now he is just admitting or acknowledge, but earlier he but it is not my matter. What he does, it is acceptable, but I do not like to say more. But here, all the English teachers simply, their intention is to teach the students just to secure marks. And up to me, and I have got so many students, they completed their honors, then post-graduation, but they do not have the perfect old English. They are not able to clarify, narrate. They cannot analyze, they cannot synthesize what is semantic, what is syntactic. So exactly that English learning does depend upon this concept. What is exactly the grammar? Grammar is just to assemble the words. It has rules, it may not. It does depend. How can you? Why, yes, it has. It is a scientific language. It must have. I cannot ignore. You cannot. Nobody can. But if you follow this YouTube and you will find David Kitchell says it is Indian English. What does it say? I am knowing. I am minding. I am believing. I am belonging. It's not possible. We cannot change. We cannot use progressive, these words. The stative words, what do you do? The teachers, they do. They use frequently. And the teachers, they teach spoken English. It is spoken English, what? That do not have spoken English. That does not have rules and the regulation is called the spoken. Violating the rules on exactly now, if a student wants to have a perfect learning, he should have a perfect knowledge. Grammatical concept. Vocabulary. I always help the students how to raise your vocabulary. I teach them the derivation. But now just if I say what is main verb and what is auxiliary verb and what is modal auxiliary, primary auxiliary is the modal auxiliary. When a modal verb becomes main verb, do you know? Can we detect what is auxiliary verb and what is main verb or the finite verb? Finite verb we cannot say, that's it. Exactly. Main verbs and auxiliary verbs. But hardly we can. So that is really our very much. We are very much in a ditch, and in troubles we cannot detect such negativities. We cannot find it. We cannot collect it. We cannot do it. We cannot work it out. So that is a great problem. So I can say about this. How can we detect lexical verb and auxiliary? Modal verb is a kind of auxiliary verb, but when it acts as helping verb or auxiliary verb, then it becomes auxiliary verb or helping verb. But when it does not, then it becomes a main verb. But he cannot. So you see, he cannot go. He cannot go. He can is auxiliary verb and go is the lexical verb. And not is that verb. There it becomes. Can becomes modal verb. He dare not go. He dare not go. Dare is has become here the modern word, auxiliary word, and go is the lexical word. He need not go. Similarly, but we normally we become very much confused about their need and must, because in one hand it becomes the main verb or the finite verb, sometimes it becomes an lexical verb, sometimes it becomes auxiliary verb. But unless we can use this one, I am a boy, I mean, is not at all auxiliary verb. It is the main verb, it is the finite verb. But do we teach the students? Simply we tell, I teach students within 3 months they can speak English fluently. But who can detect them? They can speak nicely, correctly. But it's nothing else, it's the commercialization. Who does teach? He does not have a perfect concept about the grammar. How can he? He is certified from the West Bengal government or either any institution that he has the right to teach spoken English. One, he does not have the perfect concept about the grammar, and if he does teach, then what would happen? Simply, if you start speaking English, being in an office or in an interview, then those who the interviewer, they must find it out. So what would be your image? Within the moment, they can pick you up. And being in the society, if I speak English with my friends or with the colleagues, yes, how nicely he is speaking English. If I start speaking Punjabi like this, ओए थोड़ा की नाम आएगी की कर रहा है तो वो सामान चुक के लाई कहने दे हम तो कौन बोल बेचड़ा की सुंदर पंजाबी बोल से. So like this it happens. আজকে আমরা ছেলেদের ঠকাচ্ছি 9, 10, 11, 12 ব্যাপারটা 99% মার্কস পাই এদিক না আমি মাস্টাররা পর্যন্ত আমার কাছে জাস্ট এসে নিয়ে পরে হেজিটেট করতেছে ওরা nobody has that much guts and confidence. If I ask any question relating to his 11 or 10 questions or the honors levels question, they cannot answer. Hardly you can get a person, hardly, rather, never. It is not possible. Simply they are just expressing their gimmick. They are the comedian. So you cannot blame the government. We Indians, why we suffered? Why we suffered and we were under the Mughal, we were under the British for our foolishness. And such type of purpose, they are still remaining here. They want money. They are demoralized. And it is happening. And perhaps you know 1989 under VK Singh, Saeed Mufti Saeed was our Griha Mantri, Defense Minister. What had happened? December 8 to 17 January in Kashmir, you know, this same thing is going on. Maximally, we are not educated. That is, we have to educate our students. They are to teach this. Then only we can understand. Sir, this is not happening. I start crying every time I saw what is happening. Why do we not teach our students properly, perfectly, correctly? To make their career, make them civilized, make them sober. So exactly, I am not teaching English exactly. You can say, I teach English, yes. Those who are interested, those who are curious minded, they can. And after completion of higher secondary, if a person can have a strong hold at English, I can assure you, he must get a job. He must get a job in private organization or in a government organization, maybe. But here, after completion of higher secondary, after completion of post-graduation or graduation, they start searching to have a job. Hardly they can get 4,000, 5,000. But I know the places where you can go. If you know English, if you know Hindi, you must get the initial payment is 15,000 after completion of higher secondary. I can say you this much. I can teach being in a school and they are calling me, but I don't like. Because I don't like to sell my personality. I don't like to loosen or weaken my principality. আমার किच्छु नेबर नहीं, हमें कुछ लेना नहीं है, बहुत लिए और इतना दिन तक जिए, ना है मेरा घर, ना है मेरा कुछ, ना किसी मैं भरोसा करता हूँ। लेकिन मेरे पास यही एक सोच है, मैं कहीं पे भी जाऊँ, दुनिया के किसी कोने में बड़े आराम से जी लूँगा, हमें कोई तकलीफ नहीं हो। आज हम बच्चे लोगों को नहीं समझा रहे, सही ढंग से अगर समझाएं वो बच्चे भी बच्चा नहीं इंसान बनेंगे। हम इंसान नहीं बना रहे, स्कूल से कागज दिला रहे हैं। अरे परीक्षा में बैठोगे, नाम भी लिखोगे तो पास हो जाएगा। हमारे सरकार बता दिया तो अरे स्कूल में बैठा तुम्हें पास करवाने का गारंटी मैं ले रहा हूँ, टीचर्स लोग ना है तुम्हारे साथ। But do you know, we are just what is called the matured citizen. Do we teach the students correctly? I do not teach them the politics. I always want them to be civilized, to be educated. We need to know the technique how to teach the students, but instead doing this, simply we are making money, doing nothing, making fun with them, creating gimmick, and after that end of their the duration of the tenure, appearing in the exam, securing marks, and the teachers make their guardians satisfied. Yes, my child has secured this much mark, more than. What is the fake? Now, most of the students, they have that Android set. Ask them. How many of them they can use properly, perfectly? Most of them, they use to have selfie, to have games, or just to do a little. But exactly they cannot. And those who are curious minded, ask them what they do with that Android set. And such students come to me. But here I don't find such. They maintain the status. You have to have an Android set. But that spoils. I know them. I can at least guess about their activity. But guardians, they say, my child that can do this and that. But all that education and that treasure is inserted in that Android set. Google, whatever you want, all that evidence you need, what the Supreme Court says, what the verdict says. So exactly, we are not teaching the students, are simply making fun and creating gimmick and just at a time just we are what is called allowing the students 50, 30, 35 to teaching. It's a joke. Our country is developing or not, that is not their responsibility. They are not accountable to just to make the students. And maximum those are intelligent students, 3% or 4-5% students, they themselves learn. They do not depend on the teachers. So it is our educational system. And you see, I am 6-8 years old. How long shall I be? And shall I just upload this about English education or not? I do not know. I am less interested. Now you can find on YouTube, just go there and just, oh yes, I have found this, but it's called Niharika. How nicely he is speaking English. I have done these things and I have followed this. I can remember this. Yes, that's right. But if you do not know the base and the basic, how will you apply? From the middle, your beginning is not right. You have not learned properly, perfectly. You do not have the basic concept. So how can a teacher do not speak? Here in my surrounding, nobody. I do find they have that much guts and they dare. And now to face me about English. Can you show me a teacher, a single teacher? Or simply the, oh, yeah, I know. Guys, when Guru, oh, this is informal. Hello, Kamacho. You bloody bastards. These are the systems. I least bother about them. I know about by hardly. The students they find the clue, the route, how to enter. And the few those who have got and not they are enjoying, they are not residing here. They have left their house. They all are engaged. But here we are holding the certificate. You see that nowadays I do find that they are when they do not get any opportunity just to go to the college or either IIT Raghunathpur. But it's not IIT, it's IIT Raghunathpur. Then they appear spending money, appear in the examination to have job. So, would it be possible? Show me a person. Can a person, it's really opposite, I don't like so, cannot make a draft properly, perfectly. Hardly you can find. And yes, I am bragging, no sir. You can ask me, you can just, what is called, atomize my knowledge. Come, ask me, I can answer, I must answer. But here, that has become what is called a way to make money. And here you will 5 or 6 or 7 teachers. No teacher can teach English. I tell you, no teacher can teach English. They do not know the process and the procedure to enter. This is happening. So I must quit because I am not much interested about it. Of course, if I feel myself satisfied, I must upload. But I can't guarantee. It's my hobby. And I just, what is called, use my time. I value the time for myself learning. And sometimes when I feel I get dirty students, I teach. And online I get students, I teach them. But not. Because ambiguous activity, I do not. Dubious role, I do not like to play. I can understand, I can smell, I can guess about their attitude. What happens? So, before ending, ask you, let's try to have recorded English, correct English, and हिंदी बोलना सीख लीजिए. मौका बहुत आने वाले हैं, होते रहेंगे, आएंगे ही. अगर मोदी जी आ गए, शायद नहीं भी आते हमारे लिए, लेकिन वैकेंसीज बहुत सारे आ रहे हैं. ये मौका है, इसको इस्तेमाल करो. बच्चे लोगों, तुम्हारे पास ये मौका है, अगर नहीं करोगे, लेकिन लिखाई पढ़ाई इसका तो परचम आपको नजर आ रहे हैं. करो, enjoy the life. I think you will be happy. Okay, no more. Just